Alright guys, thank you for checking out Stormtopia.com and the Stormtopia.com Facebook page. We have our daily weather update right now. Of course, looking towards what could be a major nor'easter here for portions of the northeast, depending on what type of precipitation you get. Now we can see the storm developing now on enhanced water vapor satellite imagery. You see the moisture, it's working its way out of the Gulf of Mexico, starting to spread into southeast portions of Texas and portions of southern Louisiana. You switch yourselves over to the radar. Here you see the rain falling heavily at times, and it's a purely tropical tap from the convective strength of the Gulf of Mexico. You zoom into the radar, you can see that convective strength with heavy thunderstorms. Now as they reach the northerly latitudes, there won't be thunderstorms anymore, there'll be rain, eventually changing to some snow, eventually changing back over to rain with the southeast wind. And here's how that works. Now what's happening here is, here you see we've got moisture getting tapped from the Gulf of Mexico. That's going to form a low, that's going to move out to the east-northeast, and then that's going to actually tap the Gulf of Mexico and the Atlantic Ocean, so we've got two oceans getting tapped. That's going to create a strengthening low in southeast North Carolina that moves off to the northeast, but because of the Atlantic being so huge, all the warm air from it gets wrapped in on the southeasterly side due to the counterclockwise movement, and you get an advancing rain-snow line, so you quickly change over to rain, if not start as rain, for portions of the mid-Atlantic into southern New England. And then what happens is, as the low moves off to the northwest, you see wind switching back around from the as the low moves off to the northeast, the wind switch back around from the northwest, you go from rain to snow. And you know, even though you might say that, well, we're gonna be a rain for part of the storm, well, what you have to consider is that even while you're getting rain, when you get snow, it's going to accumulate, and it could accumulate fast, folks, when the snow comes down. It could accumulate at rates of 1 to 3 inches per hour, which could still create significant accumulations. Now, you guys are probably like, okay, enough of these 1950s maps, Nix. Enough of these 1950s map, Nix. Alright, I didn't plan on pronouncing that correctly, but apparently that didn't work out. But let's take a look at some 2011 maps. Here is the model. This is the Euro. And here's what it does here. It's basically what I've been talking about, but we're seeing some discrepancy in the timing. You know, Wednesday morning, you've got rain spreading through southern mid-Atlantic. You've got snow spreading back through the deep south into the western portions of the Tennessee Valley. Low pressure center strengthens as it taps the Atlantic, and here it is in southeast North Carolina. But here's where we see things change. Okay. Here you see, and this is 18Z Wednesday on the Euro. You've got precip spreading back through here. You're snowing with the northwest wind in here. You're raining for the most part in here. Then we take a look at the GFS out to 54 hours. Basically, same thing. 60 hours on the Euro. 60 hours on the GFS. This is 60 hours out on the Euro. Lows over Virginia Beach. You're raining up through the mid-Atlantic. Northwest wind switching back around, so you're snowing in the southern Appalachians. 1 to 3 inches an hour, and you're accumulating, possibly significantly. And then we look at the GFS. Again, 60 hours out. It's over Virginia Beach on the Euro. 60 hours out on the GFS. This is by 9 in the evening, Wednesday. The GFS has it over east of Wildwood, New Jersey. So we've got Wildwood versus Virginia Beach. Why? Because the GFS wants to be so fast and aggressive, which, to be honest, is one of its biases / errors, okay? This is one prime-time example of a GFS bias, is just speeds up the system compared to the Euro. And then you see what happens here. By the time we make our way out to the evening hours of Thursday on the GFS, snow spreading back through the southern and central Appalachians. You're snowing in State College, but that only lasts for a couple hours before the storm kind of takes a jog off to the east. And what ends up happening here is by Thursday morning, advancing snow line from northwest to southeast. You start as snow. You go from the onset of the storm. You start as rain. You can start as sleet here in the northern mid-Atlantic, southern New England. Just start off from the onset. Your rain in the southern and central mid-Atlantic. Your rain through the afternoon to portions of the evening, depending on, I mean, again, timing discrepancy here on the GFS. Therefore, the Euro would yield more snow because the Euro has a longer period of snow. Because the Euro is a slower guidance product, or you could just say the GFS is faster. And then you see that what we see happening here is we go from sleet in the northern Appalachian. You see some rain to start here, eventually goes over to some snow, could be plowable. Sleet to rain to more rain to snow, heavy snow, possibly significant accumulations again in here. Okay? Now basically it's the same general idea with the storm. Low pressure center tracks something like this. Snow, plowable, extending something like this. And then rain along the immediate coast. That's what we still agree on. The models at least still agree on that. Again, we're just cutting down the undecided variables. We've got track basically figured out for the most part. It could shift east, and you know that would have an impact, but mostly figured out. And now I've just got to figure out the timing. Timing could be huge. You know, some of these schools won't cancel Thursday morning if they think the snow. They might just have a delay. They might delay you to like 10 or 11 in New England. Okay, if the storm is right on the GFS. P.S. I don't think it's going to be right on the GFS. Euro's right, then they would just cancel. So, plenty of variables still decided that could affect our daily lives. I'm done. Have a great day.